Welcome back to another motherfucking video. Today we're reacting to the entire story of the Odyssey explained. Ooh, you know we keep our ear to the streets with everything going on. Another day with the best community in the community. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's just get right into it because this shit's about to get good. Everybody say hey to YouTube. YouTube, you're so cute.
Odyssey is one of the oldest stories ever told, nearly 3,000 years old. But the entire 10-year nightmare happened because one man couldn't keep his mouth shut after winning a fight.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
He went on a 10-year. He was on a 10-year journey to go like a city over. It was like a 3-hour away, right?
Odysseus had already escaped. He was safely sailing away when he turned around and shouted his real name at the monster he'd just blinded.
Wait, what? That nigga heard him. Nah, this nigga showboating. That's his fault.
That single moment of ego turned what should have been a 2-week voyage into 10 years of monsters, shipwrecks, angry gods, and disaster. He left Troy with 12 ships and more than 600 men. Not one of them made it home.
What about him? What the hell?
Which turned his crew into pigs, a 6-headed monster devoured his sailors, and even the gods themselves wanted him dead. So,
what the fuck did he do that was so bad?
how did the smartest man in ancient Greece outsmart himself for an entire decade?
How he got
Let's
so
start
many
at the
ops?
end of the Trojan War. For 10 years, the Greeks had camped outside the walls of Troy, right here on the coast of modern-day Turkey. The Trojans wouldn't come out, and the Greeks couldn't get in. Odysseus had an idea. Build a giant wooden horse, hide soldiers inside, and leave it at the gates as a gift. Are we sure this is gonna work? Trust me. Everyone loves a gift horse. What if they look inside? Who looks inside a horse? The Trojans dragged it through the gates. That night, the Greeks climbed out, opened the gates, and burned Troy to the ground.
Like, gang, how did they not just think, like, there's probably something in there?
War over, Odysseus was a hero.
Like, there had to be at least one guy that was like, wow, what a spectacle. It's weird, though.
Now all he had to
Like,
do
nobody
was sail
thought
home
nothing
to
of
his
it?
wife
Of
Penelope
course.
and his son Telemachus on the island of Ithaca, right here. Should have taken about 2 weeks. It took 10 years.
Damn.
The first stop was Ismaris, right here, home of Cicones.
What kind of route did he take? What train? He took the A train? Damn.
Odysseus and his men raided the city, grabbed treasure and wine, and Odysseus told his men to get back on the ships. Did they listen? Of course not. They stayed on the beach and partied all night. The next morning, the Cicones came back with reinforcements and killed 72 of Odysseus's men.
With a drunk ass, they on the, oh my goodness.
6 from each of his 12 ships. Day
Damn.
1 of the trip home, and he's already burying soldiers. After that, a storm blew them off course for 9 days. They ended up at the island of Lotus Eater.
That's far as fuck. Yo, how did it blow them that far off? Like, damn.
Anyone who ate the lotus forgot everything. Their home, their family, their entire life. Just gone.
Good night,
3 of
Sharky
Odysseus' scouts ate it and had to be dragged back to the ships crying. Not the worst stop on the trip. That
the
honor
fuck?
goes to the next one. So, how
What?
did one cave on one island turn into the biggest mistake of Odysseus' life? They landed on the island of Cyclopes. Odysseus took 12 of his best men and explored a cave filled with cheese
Cyclops from Marble Rivals.
and lambs. His men wanted to grab the food and leave. Odysseus said no. He wanted to meet the owner.
What the fuck for? Why?
Owner turned out to be Polyphemus, a one-eyed giant and son of Poseidon, the god of the sea.
I need some of that. Excuse me? Some of what?
Polyphemus rolled a boulder over the cave entrance that was so heavy that 22 wagons couldn't move it. They were
God
trapped.
damn.
The Cyclops grabbed 2 of Odysseus' men, smashed their heads on the ground.
Oh. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean it. My boss wanted to meet the owner. Fuck him up, please. Sir, sir, sir.
And ate them raw. He did the same thing the next morning. 2 more men for breakfast.
Fuck.
Odysseus couldn't kill the Cyclops because then nobody could move the boulder. So he offered the giant
Oh my god.
wine. Lots of it. Cyclops, what's your name? Polyphemus. What's yours? My name is Nobody. Nobody. Well, Nobody, I like you. I'll eat you last. That's my gift. Thanks. Very very generous. After the Cyclops passed out drunk, Odysseus sharpened a
Otis.
massive olive
Hell no, that shit gonna have you tweaking out. That's probably fentanyl now.
steak, heated it in the fire, and drove it straight into the giant's eye. Polyphemus screamed for help. The other Cyclopes came running. Polyphemus...
The others? There's more of them? I didn't know that in the story. There's more of them? What if they crushed them and
What's
step on
wrong?
them?
Who's hurting you? Nobody, he said. Nobody is hurting me. Well, nobody's hurting you. Go back to sleep. Brilliant, right? And in the morning...
Oh, he's too smart. No, nobody did this to me. Nobody, his name is Nobody.
Blind Polyphemus rolled back the boulder to let his sheep out and felt each one's back to make sure no men were riding them. Odysseus and his surviving men strapped themselves to the bellies of the sheep and escaped right under the Cyclops'
Smart man.
hands. If Odysseus had
Lucky.
just sailed away, that would have been the end of it. Poseidon would never have known. But Odysseus was too proud for that. As his ship pulled away, he stood up and shouted back at the blinded giant. Cyclops, if anyone asks who blinded you, tell them it was Odysseus, son of Laertes, king of Ithaca.
Bet.
His men begged him to stop. He didn't care. He wanted credit. And now Polyphemus had a name. He prayed to his father Poseidon, god of the sea, to curse Odysseus. Father Poseidon, make sure Odysseus never gets home. And if he does, let him arrive late, broken, alone, and to a house full of trouble.
Oh, he's praying on his downfall. It's like a generational prayer on his downfall. Oh, fuck. He should have never said that shit.
Poseidon heard...
Wait, one Cyclops. Wait, multiple is Cyclope. Learn something new. Cyclope. Cyclopses.
every word, and he granted every part of that prayer. From this point on, the sea itself was Odysseus's enemy. The next stop was the island of Aeolus, king of the winds. Aeolus actually liked Odysseus. He put all the dangerous winds inside a leather bag and gave Odysseus a gentle west wind to carry him straight home. For 9 days, they sailed perfectly. On the 10th day, Ithaca appeared on the horizon. Odysseus could see the smoke rising from the chimneys of his own island. And then he fell asleep. His crew...
You gotta be fucking kidding me. No way.
Had been staring at that bag for 9 days, wondering what treasure was inside.
No fucking treasure. It's wind.
The moment Odysseus closed his eyes, they opened it. What do you think is in there? Probably gold. He's been guarding it the whole trip. Let's just take a peek. Every trapped wind exploded out at once and blew all 12 ships all the way back across the sea, within sight of home and now further away than ever. Odysseus begged Aeolus for help again. Aeolus refused. The gods clearly hate you. Get off my island. But the worst was still coming. The Laestrygonians were giants, all of them. And when the fleet sailed into their harbor, they attacked from the cliffs. They hurled boulders down onto the ships and speared the crews like fish. 11 of 12 ships destroyed. Hundreds of men killed. Only Odysseus' ship escaped because he'd parked outside the harbor.
12 because he parked up the street.
12 ships became one. Over 500 men became a few dozen, and they hadn't even reached the halfway point. They washed up on the island of Aea, home of the witch goddess Circe. Odysseus sent a scouting party led by his officer Eurylochus. Circe invited...
That's kind of a tough name, Eurylochus. You real as hell, cuz. I fought with him. You real as hell, cuz. Eurylochus.
Invited them in for a feast. They ate. She touched them with her wand, and every single one of them turned into pigs.
Damn it! They keep getting the best of him. Damn, you're a piece of shit. You're supposed to be the smartest man in in Greece or whatever. The fuck? Damn.
Eurylochus hadn't
You can't win for shit.
He ran back.
You're not making the playoffs, buddy. You need a good draft pick.
The ship in a panic.
Damn.
She turned them into pigs. All of them? Every single one! They've got snouts and hooves and everything! Odysseus went to rescue his men.
That kind of looks like
the god Hermes gave him a plant called Moly that blocked Circe's magic. When her spell failed, she turned the men back and invited everyone to stay.
Hell no! I want to go home. You playing games around here, Circe.
Stayed for a year on the magical island.
What the fuck? Why? Why did they stay?
while Penelope waited at home, wondering if her husband was dead. Eventually, his men had to remind him, "Sir, are we ever going home?" "Right, home! Yes, let's do that."
Why did you forget? How you forgot?
Cersei told him he couldn't go home yet. First, he had to sail to the land of the dead and speak with the prophet Tiresias. So
Tyrese? Fuck Tyrese. Yo, who is she?
Odysseus
Who's
sailed
she
to the edge of the
supposed to be?
world, dug a pit, filled it with blood, and
Whoa, what? Whoa, damn. Okay.
summoned the dead. Tiresias gave him one warning: do not touch the cattle of the sun god Helios, or you will lose everything. While he was down there, Odysseus saw his own mother. She had died of grief, waiting for him to come home. He tried to embrace her 3 times. She slipped through his arms like a shadow. That's what his ego had cost him.
Oh, my
Odysseus
word.
now headed into the most dangerous stretch of water in the ancient world. First, the sirens. Beautiful voices that lured sailors to
We know about
crash on
them.
the rocks. Odysseus ordered his crew to plug their ears with beeswax and tie him to the mast so he could hear the
Ew, with beeswax. Ugh.
song without steering toward it. "Tie me tighter." "Sir, you told us not to untie you no matter what." "I changed my mind. Untie me now." You also told us to ignore that." Next came Scylla and Charybdis. Scylla was a 6-headed monster on one
Scylla.
side. Charybdis was a massive whirlpool on the other. No safe path. Odysseus chose Scylla, knowing he would lose 6 men instead of the entire ship.
Oh,
Scylla snatched 6 sailors and ate them alive while they screamed his name. Now
oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
came the island Tiresias had warned him about, Thrinacia, home of the sacred
Thrinacia. Damn, all this shit got these names are comp. I'm so scared of everything they just said.
cattle of Helios. Odysseus told his men not to touch them, but bad winds trapped them for a month and the food ran out. While Odysseus slept, his crew slaughtered the cattle. "The gods can punish us later. We're starving now."
All right, buddy.
Odysseus said not to touch them.
Ain't no
Odysseus
later.
is asleep, and I'd rather die by the sea than starve on this beach. When Odysseus woke up and smelled roasting beef, he knew they were
Boy.
finished. The hides of the dead cattle crawled on the ground. The meat on the spits mooned. Yeah, the
Ew.
meat mooned. The moment they sailed, Zeus split the ship in half with a thunderbolt. Every man drowned.
Gang, Zeus, I didn't do that shit. I'd be so pissed if I was him. Nobody listens to him. He's the smartest man. Yo, for the smartest man in Greek, nobody listens to this guy. Holy fuck. What the shit, man? I'd be so pissed off. Why does shit keep happening to me?
single one. Only Odysseus survived by clinging to the wreckage.
Whatever.
The sea washed him up on the island of Ogygia, right here, home of the goddess Calypso. She fell in love with him and offered him immortality if he would stay forever.
No.
Odysseus said no. He sat on the beach every day staring at the horizon and crying for 7 years. Finally,
Damn.
Athena convinced Zeus to intervene. He sent Hermes to tell Calypso to let Odysseus go. Zeus says to release him. Of course, when a goddess loves a mortal, the gods always interfere. Are you gonna let him go or not? Fine, but I'm not giving him a ship. Odysseus built a
Damn.
raft and sailed for 17 days. Poseidon spotted
nigga.
him and smashed it into pieces, because Poseidon wasn't done.
I thought we was cool now. Okay.
Odysseus washed up on the island of Phaeacia,
Damn,
where King
nigga.
Alcinous heard his story and gave him a ship home. He woke up on the beach of Ithaca 20 years after he had left. So,
20. I thought you said 10.
what had been happening at home for 20 years?
What the
A
fuck?
disaster. 108 men from the surrounding islands had moved
7 years of crying. He was probably hungry as fuck on that island.
into Odysseus's palace, eating his food, drinking his wine, and trying to force Penelope to marry one of them. They
Yo.
assumed Odysseus was dead. Penelope had been holding them off with one of the greatest stalling tactics in history. She told the suitors she would choose a husband after she finished weaving a burial shroud for Odysseus's father. Every day she wove, every night she unraveled her work.
No, she a real nigga. She was waiting on her husband for 20 years.
3 years before a servant gave her away. The goddess Athena,
A servant gave her away. Oh, told that that snitch bitch.
disguised Odysseus as an old beggar so he could enter his own home without being recognized. As he walked through the gates, an ancient dog lying on a pile of manure lifted its head. It was Argos, the hunting dog Odysseus had raised as a puppy 20 years ago. The dog wagged its tail, laid its ears flat, and died. It had waited 20 years just to see its master one last time.
Yo, real ass dog right there, man's best friend. That's why we fucking love our dog, man. Real nigga just needs to see him one more time. Bro didn't eat, sleep, nothing.
Who's that old beggar? Nobody
Fuck up.
important. Then why is that dying dog wagging his tail at him? Inside the
What?
palace, the suitors mocked him, threw food at him, and treated him like garbage. One of them threw a stool at his head.
Oh, yo, come on, gang. Nah, you're doing the most. You're doing the most, gang. I ain't gonna lie. You gonna throw a chair? All right, you gonna get what's coming to you, fuck nigga.
Odysseus took it all, watching, counting, and
Took
planning.
it.
Penelope announced a contest. Whoever could string Odysseus's great bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads in a row would win her hand. One by one, the suitors tried. Not a single one could even bend the bow, let alone
Damn.
string it. The old beggar asked for a turn. The suitors laughed. Odysseus took the bow, strung it like it was nothing, and fired an arrow clean through all 12 axes. And then he turned the bow on the suitors. You thought your king was dead? You devoured his home? You
Oh, cook him, Odysseus.
harassed his wife? You plotted to kill his son? And now pay for all of it. He and Telemachus killed all 108 suitors in the
Oh.
Great Hall. It was a bloodbath. But
Damn.
Penelope still wasn't convinced. 20 years
What the fuck you mean she still wasn't convinced? Penelope, stop playing. Stop fucking playing, Penelope. What the hell you mean she wasn't convinced? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? He just shot that shit clean through 12 axe heads. What are you talking about? They couldn't even pull the arrow. And then he killed them all with his son. Now what else do you need?
is a long time. She had one final test. Servants, move the king's bed out of the bedroom for our guest. Move the bed? That bed can't be moved. I built it myself around a living olive tree. One of the bedposts is the tree itself, still rooted in the ground. Nobody knows that except me and you. That was the answer only the real Odysseus could give. Penelope broke down. They were finally reunited. 20 years, 2 wars, a curse from a god,
W.
6-headed monsters, witches, and a
She's just like
decade of
MJ.
suitors. And it all ended with a man remembering
get
how
on
he
my
built
nerves.
his own bed. The Odyssey is nearly 3,000 years old, and the whole thing comes down to the same lesson it's
What a
been
real
teaching
nigga.
since
Nah, no she not.
the
He
8th
is.
century BC. The smartest
Damn, look at this route. Long ass, stupid ass route.
person in the room can still be the dumbest person in the room if they can't control their ego. Odysseus outsmarted Cyclops, resisted the Sirens, and navigated the land of the dead. But it took him 10 years to learn the one thing he should have known all along. Sometimes the smartest move is keeping your mouth shut. If you'd rather
Damn, Odysseus, you should have never did that shit. That's on you, buddy. Hey, at least he made it home, though. It only took him 20 years. Nothing wrong with that. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though. W video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one, YouTube, and that's what makes us